right, here we go. Here we go. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another chart mastery session. Trying a multi-stream to Facebook. It's not working. We're not getting the data we need. Not picking up anything. Advanced settings. Just bear with me for a minute, guys. That's not doing it. Let's retry. Modify. I will get to everybody's request. Just trying to make sure we can get a Facebook stream up and going again. Connecting. Broadcasting. Well, it says we're broadcasting, but Facebook's not letting me go live. So, oh, there we go. Awesome. Nice. What's up, Paris? I will go over Litecoin for you. I think markets are doing something very interesting today. You guys let me know how the lag is. I'm doing quite a bit on this machine. It's like transcoding to a lot of sources. Frame rate's too low. Modify. How's the stream? Is it really bad? Let's see if this helps. All right, let's forget about it. Stopping the Facebook stream. I'll have to like retry doing that at some point later in life. And looks like we're live on both channels, pretty standard. All right, so I think markets are a pretty critical point today. We are seeing, I'm seeing possibly a bottom. You know, but posted about this elsewhere. You know, we talked about this on Twitter quite a bit. I talked about this in Discord. I did signal along on Ether today, right? I think we're done a decent 61.8 here. Pretty good retrace. It wicked below. More interestingly, a lot of things have done this 61.8 retrace. Before I go through like BTC and everything and our standard motions, excuse me, I sound like Joe Biden on this stream today. Ahmed Faris, my output is pretty high, like what I'm seeing on OBS. If I crank it up, it'll be more distorted. Anybody else having audio issues? Alright, so I really think it's critical for Ether to hold this low at 27.94, right? Like it needs to get up and going from here. More interestingly, Amazon's doing something similar, and I highlighted this on Twitter a few times, right? I published a TradingView idea on it, and I think when we see these weekly moves on Amazon, like a weekly 61.8 retrace off the last 61.8 retrace, it's pretty promising. All right. The way I'm seeing this is we need to close above 24.47 today, or this week. All right. We've seen these happen previously where the chart does wick below the 61.8, but usually these are pretty good buy the dip opportunities. I mentioned longing, like buying some actual Amazon stock on this dip, because these dips don't usually last, right? Historically, I'm just going to get rid of this one. This was December 2018 dip when the market flash crashed. The Christmas dip, right? Christmas meltdown. It got bought up at the 61.8 based off this last swing, right? And then the next crash was COVID crash, right? March 2020, it was also a 61.8. So I'm thinking, usually when things like Amazon hit a 61.8, the market kind of resets, all right? We've seen this happen 2 times before, right? End of COVID crash. We saw this end the December meltdown, 2018 Christmas meltdown, right? And now we're seeing it again. What do you want to call this? Putin crash, Fed crash, whatever. I don't know what we're going to call this, period. But the fact that we're down here and we're below it, I think it's a good buy opportunity, because historically we've seen price action below these wicks, right, where this opened below the 61.8 and it dipped a little bit lower, and then it within 2 weeks, right, it was back up at the top of the range. I'm not saying within 2 weeks it's going to be back up to like 3,400 on Amazon, but I do think within 2 weeks it will be back up to 28, right? At least 27.70. Like the target on this, if we're buying calls, I said we're looking for 27.70 on this. Should be a safe bet. It's actually 28.60, but I think I took this swing. Anyway, so we wanna see some kind of turn happen in stocks. S&P is looking pretty horrid. I think something like Amazon can definitely turn it, but we're slightly below these previous fib levels, and it's looking treacherous, right? Like under 411 is pretty bad. Is this just a wick? Is this the capitulation? Or are we actually going to see a savage drop? That's TBD, right? To be determined. As far as like untested fib levels, if you go to the weekly, we never really retested 393, right? So I mean that could be the next support if stocks don't hold. If Amazon doesn't hold the 61.8, if Apple doesn't hold the 61.8, we could see 393 easily get tested. I was wanting to see support. I still think what's going to save the market is the 61.8 on Amazon holding, right? Hasn't held yet, but once it does, if it does, it's going to be like a big mover, because it's a really big chunk of all our indices. Let's look at BTC USD. Just really been like shitty to trade, right? Like we haven't had any impulsive moves upwards in a very long time on BTC, and it's going to take a risk on environment to do that, right? Last time we saw a rally was like July of last year, right? We're almost there, and we've been in a downtrend since November, so for months. I think BTC is doing another 61.8 as well, right? Similar to Ether, it's actually below. So assuming the previous low holds, right? Assuming what's this? Assuming 379 holds, then we want to see a rally off the 61.8 and continuation, right? So this could be a pretty decent dip to get in on, right? Further breakdown, and we're looking at like 2800, 2673. So if the S&P does tumble and everything else does tumble, then risk is definitely off, and we should expect to see these lower values get hit. Another play that I signaled yesterday, this one's up 7%. We're also on leverage. I'm gonna put my phone on do not disturb. Sorry guys. Just put it on airplane mode. So another play that I signaled was Luna. This one's up 7%. I did try to signal it early, and it did get stopped, but then the second signal held up, and this was the second bounce off the 61.8, right? So as of now, I want to see bulls reclaim 84, 85. So like I want to see this close above here, maybe like another dip down, we can add, and then maybe we get continuation up. The reason I signaled this one is because we had a very strong initial bounce off the 61.8, right, which we did have a long entry here. And this looks like a secondary test, right? We saw something similar happen on the breakout retracement at 25. where we had like this double bottom off here. And the way to draw this one was taking our resistance, right? And that's going to be our breakout swing low. You go up to here, and basically 61.8, like this level at 25.11, held twice, and it ran. So we want to see something like that take place, take hold, for a continuation, right? I was thinking we could trade the smaller 61.8 within initially, but that one got stopped out. I can highlight why or where I entered that trade and why I got after. Right? So we tried to get in at 84.75, and that didn't really play out as nicely, right? It just dumped. So we got in at 76.67. All right. That covers what I want to cover for next year. Let's look at Apple. I want to look at Apple because Apple's also doing a possible 61.8, and this one's like on a weekly. Let's go to the daily chart. All right, so we saw this level hold several times. I know there was some negative news coming out of Europe, some antitrust stuff, some kind of complaint. I can't remember if antitrust or not, but we saw this 61.8 hold 1, 2, 3. Is the fourth time a charm, or is it gonna tumble? Right. So we have Apple at a 61.8. We have Amazon at a 61.8. We have Microsoft that bounced to 61.8. So that's why I'm thinking we should see some kind of like extended relief rally when we have something like every asset bouncing off a 61.8 level or at a critical 61.8 level, right? So Microsoft's looking similar to Apple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tests, right? So this thing should start picking up, and they had decent earnings. Yeah, they beat on both. Things like Facebook, I think it started off with a good, Facebook's having a good day to day, relatively speaking, to Facebook, right? Looking at this like 183 support here, like we see this wick below a savage. Wick below, and it's at a bare 61.8 actually being, where is price action? There it is, right? So it's a 206. Did I just mess with? Actually, I removed my price line. Here we go. All right, so price is right below 211. I think a break of 211, and it can squeeze a lot of shorts out of Facebook, and we could see some kind of rally higher, right? So it needs to break 211. If somebody's really ambitious on a short, then probably shorting Facebook here is good. Like 211 puts 2-3 weeks out if you're really bearish on the market. Morning, Delilah. All right. I'm just going to refresh the feed on TradingView. There we go. All right, so Paris wants me to check LTC USD. Checking on Litecoin. You know, it's looking... I had these fibs drawn. Last stream I said it was looking decent, and it hasn't really like shaken out these levels, right? I'm just gonna remove drawings. I think if everything else bottoms, we can expect a bottom out of Litecoin. It desperately needs to clear $100, right? Like it needs to flip this support resistance level at $100.63. Looks like it's trying to. Once that breaks, you know, and we can retest 109 and possibly continue upwards. I'm not seeing like savage momentum. We're just seeing consolidation here. Then we can run up to 118 potentially on a break. But definitely needs to take out that $100 mark, right? Like 163 cents. All right. I'm going to cover AVAX USD. Man, look at these fibs, though. They line up so well on Litecoin, right? We had the top. We had support, another top, support, and now we're struggling to break this level, but it needs to. regardless, let's hop into some of you guys' ticker requests. We had AVAX USD, T. So there has been support on AVAX over here at this level, right? And we're kind of seeing that try to happen again. Let's fib it. Is this our retracement play? Yeah, it's holding a 786, which is not the most bullish, right? On this retracement. If I stretch it, it could be a 61.8. I think as long as we can get a close above 61.36, it's looking like, right, so $62, right? If you get a close above, then we can expect some kind of upwards momentum out of here, and maybe this was bottom. Like if everything else bottoms, then this was a good buy opportunity, right? That's what like the highlight of this stream is today, is as long as you see these charts bottom out, right? In turn, then this is bottom, because Amazon's doing it, Apple's possibly doing it, Microsoft's doing it. Like if this is just a brief correction, then we're at the 61.8, right? If it's not a brief correction, then it can really turn into a shit show. So we definitely want to see $62 get taken out by bulls, a close above, maybe on the weekly, and this should be ready to rumble. All right, so I think the market's at a good buy opportunity. This isn't like financial advice. This is just my personal opinion. I think the market's at good buy the dip opportunity. All right, now I've covered what I want to cover. I've covered some of you guys want me to cover. Give me some more tickers you want me to go over. Anybody else have any tickers for me? Delilah, usually have a bunch of good ones. I usually schedule like an hour of my time for these streams, so the longer you guys keep me on, the more fun and engaging it is, right? But if you're not getting a lot of participation, then I break away. Probably go work out here in like 30 minutes or something. Let's try. I'll look at some more stocks. Let's look back at Amazon. Do you have a new high? Do you have a new low? Still trying, right? Still trying to turn. I think, that's the thing. I think if we get this turn on the weekly on Amazon, it's going to be violent. It's going to be a rip, right? By a rip, I mean, look at these weekly candles that we've seen off 61.8 levels in the past, right? So this was a 15% candle, right? Within 3 weeks, the market rallied 30%, right? Within 3 weeks, off the next 61.8 post-COVID bottom, we rallied 22%. That's the thing. When markets bottom, right, on these like 61.8 corrections, when the turn happens, it's like the most profitable time, right? The most profitable period is that freaking 15% candle that you dare to FOMO, right? And that's why I'm thinking these could be good buy opportunities. Just use a stop and don't like over leverage, right? And if we do get a 30% rally or 15% rally, what's that climb back up to just like top of the range? So if this thing within 3 weeks goes back up, it's a 22% move, right? So getting in on like a 61.8 right here, look, when I see these moves, I see like 20% to the upside, right? Versus, yeah, like there can be some downside here. It could melt down, but what are the odds correcting more than 61.8 right now? Right? We're still inflationary. I don't think we're deflationary just yet, right? All right, so I've kind of rambled. Let's look at Kathy Wood's ETF, ARK. You mean ARK-R. Okay. What's the K one? She's got so many ETFs. Innovation. Okay, like the innovation ETF, right? We're looking at things like Amazon being at 61.8, out being at 61.8. Even if I can't fib this is probably a good play, right? It's at a 786. It's way extended to the bear side, but I mean, this is where it was pre-COVID, right? This is literally the levels where tech innovation was before COVID, right? So let's say all of inflation goes away, right? All of inflation goes away. I think this is a good buy right now. If all of inflation goes away, which on Cathie Woods' ETF it already did, right? And we're back to before all this money got printed, right? You're saying these tech innovations are going to zero because of tightening, right? I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. So, I think this is decent spot to look for a long, man. At least like, yeah, like with dollar cost averaging or whatever. I can't find. I should be able to find an entry, like a fib entry that's not a 786. Let's play with some extensions. Are you guys curious about how I do this? How I use this fib tool? There is a workshop. There is a link to it. Look at that, man. $48, $48.51. Yeah, that's it. We're in. We're in. Let's go. Let's go. RK. So we're going to do this. Got allergies are kicking. I covered AVAX, Delilah. TLOS, USDT. I heard there was some really upset people and the ApeCoin community because the land, the land sale didn't go as they wanted to. The price wasn't as high or whatever. I'll get into that shortly. I'm not playing with that game, right? Like, I didn't really get in on the ape hype train. I'll stay away from hype. Ferris, I'm looking for like the chart with the most data, and I think this is it. Unfortunately, this is the only probably fib I could extrapolate, which would be here. And this looks decent, man. This looks, the fact that we're seeing bulls come in above 66 cents and push the price back up. This looks similar to Luna. This looks similar to Luna at 25. Like, this is actually a copy. If this was on FTX, I would long it. Look at this. This literally looks like something I saw on Luna at $25. Right? You go to the daily. Jeez, I'm going to sneeze at some point. It's not going to be pretty. So I'll tell you why this looks like Luna. So it's actually a really attractive price action, right? You see this trend line over here, right? And if we take our retracement from here to the next high, right? Even right here to this high, you see like it dipped off 25 twice. Now, if we were to use that same type of analysis, right, where we'd see that range develop and a consolidation and a breakout, right? So, I mean, we could do our trend line here, but I mean, there's that consolidation. When I say the market always leaves a sign for fibs, that's our sign, right? And I think this looks decent. So I think another bounce off 66 is probably an add. If it breaks below 53, then it's a dump. All right, let's look at Ape. I'll try to signal Ape, and then I saw some upset people on it. 240. I tried to find a 61.8 entry. I think it wasn't there yet, or it was below, and I just stayed away from it. I wanted to signal it today because I signaled Luna and Ether. Yeah, so what kept me away from it is it being below 17,623, right? At this point, I don't want to mess with a chart like that, right? If it held $17, I would have said buy the freaking pullback, let's go, all right? I don't know if the hype train's over, but we don't even have an initial range that developed. Like, it's a bleak range, right? And usually when things ICO, IEO, whatever, yeah, I want to see them break that consolidation, the initial consolidation. I want to see them bull trap and then dump below, right? And then we start looking for like a sizable long. I mean, don't call me a hater. I don't know. I think this can go to $6, maybe $3. All right, let's look at, I might be wrong. I'm going to cover T-Doc for Paris. You guys, if you're just now joining this stream, hit me with a ticker. Oh, dude, super clapped. Like, these are the buy opportunities we want on things like, on these moves, man. Like, that's when we go dip shopping, I think. That looks pretty horrid. You know, 123 should have held. It didn't. That's back to 2018 prices. That's really, I don't know if it's concerning or what. What are the earnings doing on T-Doc? That's what's mind-blowing, right? They had all these negative earnings and then 2 green quarters. And how bad did they miss? Jesus, 6,000% miss, dude. That's, I mean, if you believe in T-Doc, right? That's your dip. If we do a run-up extension, still like room to correct. If that's our sign, still, I don't see this, man. I don't see this holding. And this one, I can't fib it, bro. I throw in the towel on this chart. The only other way to like extrapolate a fib support would be do an initial range extension, right, which is what we just did. And now we're looking, I mean, yeah, this shit's going to hold, right? It's going to hold somewhere. So 35 should be support. I don't want to see 29 get tested. That is Teledoc. All right. Delilah hit me with a BNB USDT. Let's cover that. Imagine this is market bottom and we buy Amazon and all that just because it's a 61.8 retracement. Like, that's an efficient market. You know, that's what efficient markets do, is they correct to the golden ratio. All right. So BNB CZ's chart, 61.8, right? That's a major 61.8. We're looking at price action from like the last cycle within this range, right? Like, you can say this chart is range bound, all right? Because we have 1, 2, 3 touches. Now, if this is going to be bullish within this range, right? This is where it needs to find support and start picking the F up, right? So that's what we want to see. I want to see everything hold this week. Like last week I was saying we need to see hold that weekly low. We're slightly below it. We don't quite dump yet. We've got Powell talking on Wednesday about a soft landing. I don't know what he's going to say. I don't care what he's going to say. But things look like at a decent retracement, right? Look at that, 375, kissed it, jumped back up. I think BNB can rally. I think BNB's good over here. Stop at 370, right? That's the stop loss in case everything shits the bed, but I don't think we're gonna. All right, you guys, and gals and ladies, and non-binaries, show me some more tickers. Let's have some fun. This is a good day. This is a good day to go dip shopping. I was trying to get the stream to push on Facebook too, because just trying to get more engagement. That's it. No more. Nobody wants to play market today. Come on, Amazon. Let's fucking go. Apple. I'm excited because I think this is it. I think this is the bottom. I don't know. I think this is capitulation. You're welcome, Delilah. I'm Samuel. Thank you for a ticker shell. Matic USDT. So at this point, looking at Matic, right? If it's doing like what the rest of the market has done, we want to see 61.8 off this low to this high. If it's below it, then I would kind of start losing hope, right? So what we're going to do is remove drawings, pick up my fib tool, slam it down low, go to the high, and it's not looking the best, right? I don't think it's looking the best. Can it rally off these lows? Maybe, but it needs to break 101. I do have an alert at 89 cents for a reason, right? I think we've seen some better tickers than Matic. Oh shit, let's look at some currencies. DXY, you know, I was thinking DXY topped off on the weekly. It looked topped off. You know what I think the DXY is doing? Remember when I was shorting gold during the run up and everybody was like, you're stupid because this is a bull run, it's gonna keep going, you shouldn't be shorting gold, there's war, it's a safe haven, right? I think the dollar is blowing off. I mean, we saw the first two rejections here, right? And now we're seeing like, I'm thinking this is a blow off. We're in inflation. Like how is the dollar going up when there's inflation going on? Let's look at the EXY. We can look at dollar euro. Dude, EXY is hitting the floor. So I feel like the only reason DXY is rallying is because the euro is eating shit, right? And a few other currencies. So it's like basically acting like a safe haven, but is it really? Let's look at Euro USD. I don't trade Forex. I'm not a Forex trader, but I can read charts, right? I was hoping it'd be at 61.8 and we're not. I don't know. So I'd want to see the DXY start turning again, right? Back to that that blow off theory, right? When I started shorting gold at 61.8, people were like, no, you're like, no, right? We had like 2 consecutive blow offs before this thing started correcting. Right, so I started shorting like on this candle, right, and then we had this giga blow off, but then what happened? We had a consolidation, and then the sell off, right? So we could be looking at like this candle forming on the DXY. I don't think it can run up to that previous high, right? And the DXY taking a breather is going to be critical for all assets, right? I mean, we knocked out the previous 2 highs, but I don't know if this rally is real. DXY goes down, everything goes up, right? Like think of DXY as like BTC dominance for every market, right? Let's look at XRP, USDT. If I haven't looked at Ripple in a while, if it's at like 40 cents, it's a buy. Not even 40, 60. Jeez. Okay, so what do we see here on Ripple? 1, 2, 3 supports. Except for this is like, it's kind of looking ugly. In terms of like classical chart patterns, this is a bearish triangle. This is a bear pennant. I've seen these break up to the upside, but it didn't really last. All right, like this reminds me of the Lumen chart in 2018. You remember Lumen 2018 had a pennant like this, and it broke up, but then it shot the bud. Excuse my French. Sub 61.8. is up 61.8. I don't know, this looks tricky. I don't know why I was thinking it would be at 40. If it was at 40, I'd buy it. I still have alert at 49. I wonder what's holding it up over here. Yeah, I would wait for like 49 on something like Ripple. Historically, Ripple doesn't have a run-up before it does like a mega shakeout, right? Like I'd want to see this kind of move, this kind of move, this kind of move on XRP, unless I'm missing something. Right? Like how does the Russian ruble make an ATH? I wouldn't call it ATH. It's at a 2-year high though. Like we've got sanctions. We got sanctions on Russia. Meanwhile, like the ruble is up before pre-invasion levels, right? Like 14%. So obviously, whatever the U.S. is doing isn't working, and that's why I think like shorting gold is the play. Because if Putin's back the ruble with gold, he's got the biggest gold reserve. So unless you can like make gold go to zero, then you can't really mess with the ruble. They also have like they've done pretty well. Like Putin's playing chess and everybody else playing checkers. He tricks them into thinking he's gonna try to invade Kiev. Meanwhile, he takes over the entire like southeast. All right, looking at Harmony. What's that? 1 USDT. Oh my goodness. That's painful. Very painful looking. One other way to look at this would be initial range extension. Can we get a bottom? So okay, I like this. I like this set of extensions because it's giving us the top and support. 69, right? If not even 6, you see price, right? A 69th of a cent. I don't know. Whatever this is, this really cheap price level, this needs to hold. If not, then we're looking for 4 cents or 2 cents. 2.7 cents, 2.3 cents, and so forth, right? But like this needs to hold. Is it a good buy opportunity? It's not at 61.8, but if a lot of other things start rallying, like I think they will, like Apple. I mean, I've never opened up my TradingView stream and I said, hey, Amazon looks like a buy, Apple looks like a buy, Microsoft looks like a buy, everything looks like a buy. I've never done that, right? So. And the thing is, I'm not saying that when they're going up. I'm saying that when they're coming down, right? Like, there's a difference, right? Like, imagine opening it up and saying, oh, we're going up, so we're going to keep going up. No, I'm thinking we're going to get a reversal here. ASTR, USDT. What is this? Aster. Sounds like very inappropriate. I got jokes today. Alright, this looks possibly extending a range high, right? And it looks like it wants to consolidate, or it's definitely consolidating. Is trying to make some kind of formation. I wouldn't quite call it a broadening wedge or a tightening wedge. It's actually more of a channel. You got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 count ABC. Okay. Looking at this, if 13 holds and you close above 15, this bottom, then it's going up, right? But if this doesn't, then it's going to break down. And I'm not saying it's going to go up to a new high. But probably gonna try 61.8. But most ideally, you want to see 15 hold. Anchor USDT. I guess smash that like button if I covered your chart. Even if you hate my analysis, just it won't hurt you. Just a click. It's free. The like button's free. All right. Jeez. So, okay, on some of these alts, we're going to have to stick to extending the initial range, right? The initial breakout range. I don't like it. Don't like it. I think there's better, more bullish looking plays. No, just click the like button. Click the like button. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, thank you. Thought you said anywhere. I'm misreading. Thanks, Delilah. All right, fam. You guys have any more ticker requests for me? If not, I'm gonna call it a day. This was a really fun stream. You guys kept me on for 40 minutes. Much love to everybody that watches this stream. If you guys are in Discord, let us know if you want to guest pass. If you're not in Discord, click the link. Check out the link tree. There's so much going on in there. A lot of links. It's all appropriate. No OnlyFans. And all right, Sol USDT. Can't wrap it up. So, like in the most recent months, right? And the whole last year, when everybody was like, when Sol was at like $200+ and it's in the stream, I'm like, no, like stay away, right? And I still have my alert as $70, right? You see that orange line? Like my buy alerts as 71, right? And this thing's been there since probably we broke below these levels. Since we broke below 93, I think 71 should be the bounce. It's like, so it's one thing to like want to buy high. It's another thing to buy like a technical dip, which is basically what we're seeing on a lot of assets. Now, if like $100 held that time around, I would have been bullish on Sol, but I still think 71's the play. All right, fam bam. Thank you guys for tuning into the stream. I'll be on Discord rest of the day. If not, catch me on Wednesdays, same time, same place. Guys, smash that like button. Smash that like button. And share this with a friend. Invite a friend next time. Good luck trading. Catch you.